Hello, dear friends. As I said before, I miss you very much, and I don't see you on Wednesdays in the chapel. So, with the request of your teachers, I'm making these small short videos for you to just come and say hello to you in your home. So, I am your guest today. Do you want a guest? Or you're really tired or you're bored of guests? Well, I'm going to tell you a story about a guest. And that story is about Abraham. And that story is on this icon. Have you seen this icon? When you come to church next time, come and pay attention to this icon. It's really beautiful. It has Abraham right here, and it has Sarah on the other side. So who are Abraham and Sarah, do you know? Abraham and Sarah are very wonderful people. They are holy people. They are blessed people. Do you remember what it means to be blessed? It means to have God's attention. So that God pays attention to you, you will be holy too. And do you know why God paid attention to Abraham and Sarah? Because like I said before, they were like children, like you. Their hearts were pure and they loved strangers. Well, you got to be careful with strangers, right? Of course. Without mommy and daddy, you should be careful from just saying hello to everyone or anything. Or if you go to the mall or to the market or whatever, you don't say hello to everybody. Well, do you say hello or you don't say hello? Well, you ask your mommy and daddy who you can be friends with. But Abraham and Sarah were old people, but they were still pure like you. They had pure hearts like children, but they were old and they knew how to deal with strangers. So one day, Abraham was sitting under a big tree. See this big oak tree? He was sitting under that oak tree. And as he was sitting there, and he looked up, and he saw 3 strangers coming his way. You know who those strangers were? Well, they're on the icon. 1, 2, 3. So we have Abraham and Sarah, and then we have the oak tree, and then we have 1, 2, 3 guests. So when Abraham saw these strangers coming, it was hot and it was really, really difficult day. Do you have days like that when it's really tough and you don't know what to do? Maybe you are bored or something. That's the kind of day Abraham had. It was kind of very hot and but when he saw these people coming towards him, these 3 persons coming towards him, he got up and he went and welcomed them. And he said to them, "Come on in, come into my house." House? Abraham didn't have a house. He lived in a tent. Do you live in a tent? No. But Abraham did. That's how they lived in the old times in the desert, that he built from, I don't know what kind of materials they were, like animal skins or something. He built a tent and he lived in it. And so he invited these strangers into his house. They were guests, like I am your guest today. Well, except that difference is that these guests, they came to Abraham's house, guess who were they? They were angels. Oh, even more, because there are 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. We say that it was God visiting Abraham. Why? What does God have to do with 3? Do you know? Well, we know, right, that God is one. We have one God. But that one God is 3 persons. Who are those 3 persons? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and one God. So do you know what they did? These angels, the Holy Trinity, came to visit Abraham. You know what they did? They came, and like it's in the icon, do you see 1 person of God, the Holy Spirit, and then the Son, and in between the Son and the Holy Spirit is Abraham. And then the Son and the Father, and between the Father and the Son is Sarah. So they invited Abraham and Sarah to be part of their party, to be with them. That's the way God does things. First, God comes to you humbly like a stranger, like maybe a hungry person, maybe a beggar. Sometimes God shows up like another lonely child in school that wants to have a friend. And then, once you welcome God, then He welcomes you to be with Him. And He comes and comforts you and stays with you. So that's what happened with Abraham and Sarah. Because they loved guests, they invited these three angels to their house. Then God came and invited Abraham and Sarah to be sitting with them, and with the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Would you like to see God one day? Well, you will see. What I said earlier, you just keep your heart clean and pure and invite Jesus to come to be in your heart, because He is the King who went into Jerusalem on a donkey. Remember the first time we talked? Yes. So He will come into your heart as a guest. And then when He comes as a guest, you welcome Him and you love Him, and He will stay there and He will bless you all the time. You will have joy, like I said before. You will have peace, because Christ is peace. And you will also have blessings of the Lord. Like Holy Trinity here, you can see that every person of the Holy Trinity is blessing Abraham and Sarah. Okay? Thank you. I will see you next time. God bless you.